Facebook, since its inception, has honestly been a controversial thing. Not the least of which was that because of it, the social media boom really took off. And questions about what people do on social media and what is shown on social media began. But then, the conversation turned to what Facebook was doing on its own service, and things got pretty heated. To the extent that a major news story broke about things going on behind the scenes, and Facebook's creator needed to pivot, and pivot hard. So, allow us to show you, Facebook and the Metaverse, what you need to know. The reveal. Under siege on multiple fronts, Mark Zuckerberg has pinned his trillion-dollar company's future to creating a Metaverse. Last week, renaming Facebook as Meta. For simplicity, we'll continue to refer to Zuck's company as Facebook in this story. Zuckerberg has said the concept will cost $10 billion this year, then more in future years, and expects the Metaverse to lose money for the foreseeable future. The numbers are big, but Facebook can stomach those losses just fine. It netted $29.1 billion in profits on $86 billion in sales last year. Zuckerberg's project isn't earth-shatteringly new. Fragments of it have kicked around Silicon Valley for years, as Second Life and Bezos' interest in the Metaverse make clear. But Facebook does have a couple of things going for it that others in the past didn't. One is the ability to deploy more money in the next 2 or 3 years than the total of all the dollars spent on the Metaverse during the prior 30 years. Another is the simple fact that we're all a great deal more comfortable with virtual communication now after working from home for much of the past 20 months. Our goal is to help the Metaverse reach 1 billion people and billions of dollars in commerce in the next decade, Zuckerberg said on a conference call with Wall Street analysts last week. Getting there, he noted, will be a long road. But again, that raises a major question. What is the Metaverse? In short, it is a boundless 3D digital world accessed as easily as the internet, where we do things like hang out in a park, play a game, see a concert, or suffer through a work conference. So you know, things like we did in Second Life, just with better graphics and interaction. If you're curious about the origins of this concept, we need to go back in time a little bit. A computer scientist named Jaron Lanier first coined the term virtual reality in the 80s, and the first applications for VR were airlines, car makers, NASA, and the military. They were the only ones who could afford the technology. Back then, a VR headset might cost as much as $3 million in current dollars. Lanier estimates, it was expensive and hard to come up with a business model to make enough money from an arcade situation, he said. The actual term Metaverse comes from a best-selling 1992 sci-fi novel, Snow Crash. Its author, Neil Stephenson, imagined a dystopian world where the book's main character, a hacker-slash-pizza delivery guy named Hero Protagonist, travels back and forth from his grim reality to a 3D virtual cityscape, the Metaverse, that stretches over 40,000 miles. Stephenson's work would later influence the Matrix series and Ready Player One, a 2018 Steven Spielberg film based on a book by Ernest Cline from 7 years earlier. Attempts at a Metaverse. Aside from Second Life, the most realized examples of metaverses have come from video games. The most famous example of these online persistent game worlds is World of Warcraft, which has been going strong now for 17 years and still has about 5 million paying subscribers. The place is a sword and sorcery geekdom with an undeniably large social component. People have met their spouses playing the game. It's also a final juggernaut. Activision Blizzard, the company behind World of Warcraft, has earned well over $8 billion in lifetime revenue from the game. Snap has delved deeply into the space too, but has focused its efforts on augmented reality, a slightly different concept than VR. Augmented reality revolves around using your smartphone or special eyeglasses to augment the real world with virtual elements. Niantic's Pokemon Go game is the best-known use of AR. The key difference is AR doesn't fully block out reality. A VR headset strapped over your head does. Microsoft has jumped into the fray too, announcing just a day ago that it would develop a work-focused metaverse, where its team's collaboration software would have VR and digital avatars. Epic's game Fortnite, which debuted in 2017, has probably come closer to a Snow Crash-type metaverse than anything else. Fortnite players see its online battle royale game as a place to socialize. They chat through audio and video features built into desktop computers and gaming consoles, or through third-party apps like Discord. And virtual concerts from artists such as Marshmello, Travis Scott, and Ariana Grande have further widened its universe. The Zuckerberg Metaverse. Zuckerberg seems to hope people will access his virtual world through a VR headset, just as Hero did in Snow Crash. It is an important distinction. Fortnite, Second Life, and most other multiplayer online games are typically displayed on a PC monitor or a TV connected to gaming consoles like an Xbox or a PlayStation. The rest of Zuckerberg's metaverse idea seems very much a work in progress, but he has shared images of a VR office setting called Horizon, which would take advantage of the pandemic shift to virtual work. Zuckerberg began laying the groundwork for this back in 2014 when he purchased Palmer Luckey's Oculus, a VR headset maker, for $2 billion. Facebook has since acquired more than half a dozen other VR-focused startups, including last week's purchase of Within, a Los Angeles-based boutique game developer, committing over $1 billion to the ongoing shopping spree. Shortly after Facebook released its first Oculus headset in 2016, Vanity Fair asked Stevenson what he thought about the prospect of Facebook moving into a virtual reality. "There's no fixed process for predicting the results and controlling what happens," said Stevenson, who couldn't be reached for this story. At some level, it boils down to people's capacity to act as socially responsible, ethical individuals. Why go this path? Facebook, which wouldn't comment for this story, has lost ground among younger users to YouTube, TikTok, and Snapchat. While Instagram remains popular with teens, Facebook's original app isn't. Increased attention around antitrust issues means Facebook likely can't buy any new competitors. If it wants an app to win back young people, it will need to build itself first, and Zuckerberg seems to feel a VR-centered metaverse will do this. Moreover, talking about the metaverse provides a timely distraction from a whistleblower scandal consuming much of the media attention around Facebook. If you didn't hear that story, a whistleblower came forward and revealed that it would be very easy for Facebook to get rid of certain kinds of ads and bots that have been flooding Facebook timelines for a long time now. The reason they don't? Profit. They get profit from every ad clicked, regardless if they're real news, fake news, or something in between. Facebook doesn't want to lose revenue, so they don't fix their product. Hence why Meta and the Metaverse were revealed not long after this message. A simple sleight of hand to try and get people talking about it, and not about Facebook. Facebook's future. As for what happens with Facebook right now, that's a good question. Not long after that whistleblower piece blew up via 60 Minutes, Facebook shut down for a period of time, and many people believed it was to hide certain things that couldn't be used against them in the long run. There's no doubt that Facebook is going to endure, but especially now with the very odd and very clear deflector that is Metaverse, Facebook is going to be on pins and needles as they try and figure out what to do next. Obviously, their ads and other ways they make profit are going to be the biggest things under scrutiny. So perhaps they'll retract things for a bit to make it look like they're doing the right thing. But then they'll go back full force later on. It all depends on what Mark Zuckerberg wants to do. And he's made it clear over the years that what he cares about most is making money and being successful. Whether he can do that with Metaverse is obviously something to debate. But as long as he finds ways to keep making money off Facebook, which he knows how to do in various underhanded ways, he'll do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, no matter what anyone says. So, what do you think? What do you think of this look at Facebook and what Zuckerberg is trying to do with the Metaverse? Do you think that he'll be able to divert enough attention away from his main platform so he can't be investigated for potential crimes? Or will this just draw even more attention to himself and what he's doing? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time on the channel.